guys, and welcome back to my channel. The case that I'm going to be looking into today is a strange disappearance of a man called Michael Madden, who was 20 years old, and just the circumstances surrounding it I just found so strange, and many more people across the internet have found it so strange too. This was suggested by Ara, so thank you for that. I appreciate any suggestions you guys have, and of course if you have any more, please do let me know. Michael Larry Madden was born on the 22nd of January in 1976 to parents Adrell and Larry in Sonora, California. He was a very kind, considerate, goofy little kid growing up. He often made people laugh, and throughout his childhood would spend a lot of time with his dad camping and experiencing the great outdoors. It was something that they absolutely loved to do, and he would continue to love to do into his adult life. It really did shape him as a person. He did also love being social, spending time with family and friends. You know, he absolutely loved family ties, friendship ties, and just going out with them and having fun. But obviously nature and everything like the great outdoors had to offer for him was a massive passion for him. One of his favourite spots to go was Sandbar Flat camping grounds. His dad and him would go there often. He basically was really familiar with the area because he went there a lot. Michael was at the time studying at Humboldt State University, and he was actually studying forestry because he wanted to become a member in his future of the US Forest Service. Like I said, it really did shape his life, just his sheer love for everything outdoorsy. On the 10th of August in 1996, Michael had decided that he was going to go out for a camping trip with his beloved loyal dog Matilda. He was going to go to his favourite spot at Sandbar Flat camping grounds. He packed up his gear in his Chevy Cavalier, and he actually wrote a note for his mother because I guess it was a last minute plan, I don't really know. He wrote a note basically to tell them where he was going and what he'd planned on doing. So it must have been a last minute thing. And I believe he left at about 5 a.m. So he packs his gear up, he gets in the car, he drives down the driveway with his dog in tow, and off they go. 2 days later, his friends actually planned on sort of going meeting him there. The plan was for him to go camping alone, but he obviously must have told his friends and things, and I believe they were going somewhere, so they decided that they were going to drop in on the way and just see him, maybe spend a bit of time with him, things like that. They were planning on joining him on the 12th, and when they finally got there, Michael was not there. His tent was set up, all his gear was around, everything was set up for him to be camping. The fire had newly been lit, so literally you could tell that it was fresh. It had not been lit that long. And so they just kind of figured that, you know, maybe he had gone off to get wood. He could have literally gone off for anything. He could have gone off for a walk. He could have gone off for wood. He could have gone off for the call of nature. Matilda also was not there, so obviously he's with his dog. They said that they got there around 2 a.m. And apparently this campsite is 10 miles from the highway. The turnoff is apparently not very well marked, if marked at all. And the road isn't great getting there. It's like a dirt path. There are lots of turns that you have to take. So you basically have to know where you're going to get there, from what I gathered. But when they got there, obviously Michael wasn't there, Matilda wasn't there. And Matilda was a very loyal dog. It was said that she would not leave her owner's side. They waited around a little bit. Then at some point they decided to have a quick nosy around to see if they can find him, but they couldn't. So they returned back to the fire and decide to wait for him there. As I said, they returned to the fire, but once they did that is when this case gets very strange. They sat there waiting, and then this guy appears out of nowhere and asks them if they were looking for Mickey. Now, Michael had never apparently gone by the name Mickey as far as they were aware. And this man that just popped out of nowhere was called Joseph Time, and he had a pistol with him. Now, I have read that apparently it's quite normal for people to carry guns around this area. So the pistol maybe wasn't like a super strange aspect on it, even though I would assume it is. It might not necessarily be in the general idea of that area kind of thing. But all the time he decides that he's going to sit down and wait with them for Michael. And all the time he's like cocking the pistol and things like that. And it sounds really weird. I guess his friends got a weird vibe from that. So Joseph, along with his friends, continue to wait for Michael, and Michael doesn't come back. They then obviously report him as missing. He was described as 6'1", around 195 pounds, wearing shorts and a t-shirt, San Francisco Giants cap, possibly. that he had brown hair, hazel eyes, and had a 3-inch surgical scar on the left side of his collarbone. So with that description in mind, people were out looking for him. The police went out, volunteers were all out, they brought in search and rescue teams, they brought in divers, they brought in dogs. The search would go on for days and they just found nothing. Now, 4 days into the search, Michael's dog Matilda actually came back to the campsite. She was alone, unfortunately. She was unharmed, thankfully, but she was dehydrated. Now, police and people, family members, friends really did try and get Matilda to lead them to where Michael may have been, but unfortunately she could not. So, yeah. Then which I found very strange, one of Michael's friends actually said that when they were, Joseph Tyne, who was the random person that was sat there waiting, apparently he had spent time with Michael there whilst they were camping. That is what he said. So probably in the 2 days before his friends actually came. One of them claimed that they thought Joseph was actually wearing Michael's boots, which is so weird and bizarre. Apparently, he said that he seen Joseph was eating Michael's food and was using his wood as if he knew that Michael was not coming back. But again, that's just... it's not actual fact, it's just like his opinion, I guess. And the shoes thing hasn't actually been fully confirmed, I don't believe. It is also worth noting that Joseph was brought in for questioning. He did a polygraph test, which he passed. But again, I don't believe that polygraphs work, just my opinion. I just think that they're a load of garbage, but people always seem to mention, so here I am mentioning it. And so far he has never been charged for anything in Michael's disappearance. He's not linked to it, I don't believe, in any way from what I could find. And we have no idea where Michael went at all. And it's just crazy, I think. Like, he went camping. Obviously there's theories, I will get into them in a minute, but I just find it so strange, this case. Sadly, his parents have since passed away. One passed away in 2006, I believe, and the other in 2008. They never found out what happened to their son, which is absolutely devastating, and that honestly truly breaks my heart. His mother, well, both of them probably, but I've seen it mentioned more so his mother. She literally lived her life hoping and praying that she would one day find out what happened to Michael, and she never did, and it just crushes me. It honestly does. So, there are theories in the case, of course. There's theories that he was possibly injured, like he'd gone out looking for wood and fell off somewhere or whatever, but, I mean, he knew the area quite well. I'm not saying that by any means that proves that he would have never ever fallen or got injured or anything like that. Just the fact that he knew where to go and where not to go makes people believe that that potentially isn't the case. And they do believe more that foul play may have been involved. I do think that possibly, this is just my opinion here, I do think that maybe Matilda, whatever happened to him, was with him, because she was away from camp for 4 days and eventually came back dehydrated. I believe, with her being described as such a loyal dog, I would never leave her owner's side, that maybe if something did happen to Michael, maybe she was sat by him, which is just so sad, because that loyal friend just sat beside their owner who has lost their life just crushes me again. If that was the case, it might not have been Matilda. If something happened to Michael, Matilda might have run off, got scared or something like that, gotten lost and didn't even know where Michael was. But I just believe that she was sat beside him, whatever happened to him, and she eventually had to come back because she had no choice. And then she couldn't actually lead them to him, sadly. Obviously, I could be completely wrong on that. That's just what I got from it. I'd like to know what your thoughts and opinions are on it. Do you think that possibly whatever happened to Michael was accidental, or do you think that foul play was involved? Some people believe that obviously Joseph was involved. Again, he's never been linked. It's just a complete theory, but it's just people's opinions at that point. I just find it so strange how he's gone out camping. All his stuff was there, the fire was newly lit, and he just didn't come back. Just so weird. To this day, Michael Madden's case remains unsolved. And that is the end of it. If you guys have enjoyed this video, give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for similar content. That is all I have today on this case. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.